Welcome back to San Antonio Living. I want to give you an update again as to what is happening at UT Austin. The Associated Press giving us more information about a bomb threat that came in at about 8:35 this morning. UT officials there in Austin decided that they would evacuate all of the campus. As you can imagine, it's been heavy traffic, a lot of gridlock as students and teachers are trying to evacuate the Austin campus of UT. At 8:35, a call came in from a man claiming to be with Al-Qaeda, saying that he had placed bombs all over the campus. He said they would go off in 90 minutes, which, if I calculate correctly, that would be a little bit after 10 o'clock, which it is now 10:34. But still, as a precaution, UT officials have evacuated the campus there in Austin due to that call-in threat of bombs. So we'll continue to monitor that situation for you. Of course, you can get more information at our website as well, WOAI.com. Now we're going to talk about something that a lot of parents are facing, and that is how to track their kids on social media. I am right there, and I'm so glad our next guest is here. It's Shama Kabani, and she is a social media and marketing expert, and she has some advice for parents trying to keep up with, let's see, my kids have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter accounts, and those are just a few of the ones that are out there.
And that's just the beginning.
I know. What is a parent to do?
Keep up.
But this is not first nature to us, our second nature like for a child. So how do you get up to speed?
Great question. So there's a couple of things that parents really need to know. And the first is that you have to communicate with your kids. A lot of parents make the mistake of thinking just because their kids are tech savvy, that also means they're digitally wise, and they're two completely separate things. So just because they're using Facebook and Twitter and Instagram doesn't mean they may know how to handle, let's say, a bullying situation online or someone harassing them. So just because they're tech savvy and they're good with technology, parents shouldn't feel like that they can't be of help, because they really can. And so they need to communicate. That's step one in making sure that you know, why are your kids using these technologies? What is it that that really makes them tick? Maybe they are passionate about something, and try to see how you can work with them to use technology to sort of foster those passions.
Is there a certain age, do you think it's okay for a child to begin social media?
Well, it's so funny because kids now start social media at age 2. I have a little niece, and she knows how to work the iPad.
Wow.
And she thinks a magazine is a broken iPad.
Oh,
so, yeah, it's hilarious because so kids, technology is a part of who they are now. It's used at schools, it's used in communities and camps. So, it's second nature to them. And so parents really have to step in and say, how do we make sure that they know how to use these tools correctly? And then you have to know your kids, right? Some kids are ready for a Facebook account at 13. Others maybe at 21 still may not be ready to get out there.
Well, some kids don't really want their parents to be friends with them on Facebook or to be able to follow them on Twitter. So how do you navigate that to keep the kid happy but also do your parental responsibility?
So there were a few things, right? Before, you could stick the computer in the kitchen table, and that would solve a lot of things because you were right there and you could see what they were doing. But now, because with technology being everywhere, they have smartphones with browsers, they have it at schools, they have so much access that parents really do need to communicate, and that's going to be their best tool in their arsenal to talk to their kids. And one really good way to do that is to look at media stories and say, hey, I heard about this happening. What are your thoughts on that? Because then if you go in and you say, I don't want you to do this on Facebook, or you're going to get a wall, right? The wall goes up. You get defense. You get a lot of defensive looks. But if you say, "Hey, I read this in the newspaper, where this happened to this kid," or college admission counselors are now looking at profiles. What do you think about this? That can really open up the discussion.
That's a good one. That's sneaky. We just really scratched the surface. But you have a book out there that I want to let parents know about. If you need help with social media, technology, and your kid, then check out this book. It is called The Zen of Social Media Marketing. And again, we've been talking about teens and social media today with Shama Kabani. You can get more information about her advice and what she does for not only kids but for professionals as well at marketingzen.com. The number to call 888-460-6008. And guess what? We've got a book to give away right now. Fourth caller will win The Zen of Social Media Marketing. The number to dial 470-5444. Shelley?